Hi, I'm Judy.
And I'm Tamara.
Welcome to Balance Not Boring, the wellness podcast that's not about extremes or perfection.
Just real conversations on balancing your mind, body, and soul in our bustling city of Dubai.
So grab your tea and get comfy with us.
Oh, and fair warning, you will learn something.
Hello.
Hi.
I love that we're finally getting to do this, honestly.
Likewise.
We have so much to get into between our stories and just even how we know each other. But I don't know. I think it's a good way to start off our podcast and just maybe tell everybody who's listening just who we are and how we met. So I'll open it up to you, Tamara.
For sure. My name is Tamara Khoury. I'm very, very happy to be here. Very happy to be speaking to you as well. I grew up in Saudi. I studied anthropology at York University in Canada. I know I really wanted to be an actor, but that really didn't work out. I guess life had other things planned for me. And then I moved to Dubai in 2013. I worked at a financial communications firm. It was lovely. I had such a great boss. I had really, really good colleagues who I still speak to today. And somewhere along the line, I got interested in sports. I got interested in health and wellness because my dad, had it not been for his work, he's an orthopedic surgeon, he would have probably been a professional squash player.
Wow.
So
That's also very different.
So I grew up in Saudi watching him play like these amazing games. And he's always been so health conscious and like knock on wood. He's like, he does not look his age. He's super active. So I kind of got that, gene or that I inherited it from him.
Yeah, you were exposed to it.
And I was just exposed to it from such a young age and in Saudi too. So a Saudi in the 80s, 90s is very different to the Saudi today.
Yeah.
And then, so now I have my own business. We have lots to discuss and unfold about wellness.
Just a hint, the business, it's very good baking. Good. I'm obsessed with the brownies. We'll get into that.
Thank you. We'll get into that about the story and all of that.
That's a whole other combo. Yeah.
And so now we're here and we decided to, unfold all these, wellness myths, wellness truths.
Yeah, we're here to just debunk everything that you're confused about, everything people have questions about. And of course, just a disclaimer, we're not experts, we're not certified doctors, and we know this. My background, just to get into that quickly, is marketing and business. So undergrad in Washington, D.C. at American University. And then I did my master's at USC in Los Angeles, where I was born and raised. So American, as you can tell with the accent maybe. But I moved to Dubai in 2007 for my father's work. And that was amazing because it changed my life. Going from a big public school and it was so many kids and literally what you see in like the movies, honestly, it was just chaos. Met amazing people there, learned about myself, but I was just in my teens. Coming here midway through high school, going to the American school here, small, very sheltered, but very warm and loving place. Everyone knew each other and I found out my personality type. I thrive in that kind of small community environment. But in reality here, it mixed and everyone was well-rounded, which I'm going for majorly in life now as much as possible, is you work hard, you have fun, be a good person, that's it. There's none of this, ambiguity there. But anyway, so after that, I wanted to do business and marketing because I like psychology, I like consumer behavior, I like seeing how people act, and I feel like I can connect with people. I'm an empath. Any empaths out there? I hope you love this. Yeah, so there's another thing we have in common. So all of that made me, over the years, which I can get into, help me learn about myself physically and mentally, and really getting into going into corporate world in Dubai after working in marketing and fashion and beauty and learning so much about these things. But that really got me to learn, what do I want in life? I want a balanced life, ideally a schedule that I can control. I have 2 small children, very small children, married, all of that. So I want to work from home, get stuff done, make my business, but also have time, like just with my family every day. So this is why I came to that 360 realization after doing all of the hard hustling. And then in that hustle, I found out about my health stuff, like a sensitive gut. And I don't know if that's mind-body connection or if that's really a thing that happened to me while studying abroad in France, because I was alone in the middle of nowhere for like 4 months in college. So a whole story there. But I really realized like I'm a type of person that wants to get into how to feel at peace. This is my resolution. This year, feel at peace, be content with my skin, with my life. And I feel everything will flow energetically, physically. This is my life and things are happening for me. So that's how you heal your body, in my opinion, in my personal experience, and your mind, by just accepting that and taking each day at a time. So that's like my long-winded summary of where I am now. But I actually own a business, and just to quickly say, it's an organic skincare space. So it's a distribution company with my mom. So it's a woman-led business. 3 years ago, we started it with Aïssa Ghourer, who is a local family. They have their businesses here and they're part shareholder. And they're great support in operations. But my mom and I handle the day-to-day. And we're just here to make organic skincare accessible for people. It was such a taboo, so expensive. Why can't everyone have their access to it? Why does it have to be this taboo? Like, if you only know the stats, which of course we'll bring on a dermatologist here, but it's really scary when you're putting chemicals. So that's my goal now, is everything I've learned in my past careers got me to where I am now. It's like just a holistic vibe that I have going on. So I know you have a similar situation, right? With what you went through and how you've started Teal.
Oh, wow. We have so much in
Yeah,
common.
I
First of
know.
all, our American upbringing. I mean, we're two
Yes.
Arab girls, American upbringing. So we have like such a great balance of our culture with a Western mentality. So
Yeah.
I really, really love that. And I love when you said the 360 point, which is so true. I mean, considering how you're married, you have two kids, and then things started to just feel right for you in terms of like health and wellness, and now your skincare brand.
Mm-hmm.
And now with kids, you want to set a great example for them.
Yes.
So you try your very best to lead a life that's as clean and as good for them as possible. Like the 80-20 rule.
Of course. Yeah.
Like at least 80% of the time be, clean and healthy and be mindful of what you're doing. And then the 20% you can let go, which is
Yes.
all
Yeah.
about life, right?
That's like our whole MO of this podcast, is the whole let's be realistic in our wellness. So we really want to focus on mind, body, soul, based on our experiences and based on our assumption or opinions of. That's kind of the trio that will help us feel that peace that we're looking for, right? Life is hectic, life is stressful. We have changes, we have physical changes going on, like pregnancies, kids, like postpartum, like we get older, we're in our 30s, we're different than when we're in our 20s. Our energy levels change, our priorities. We have a husband or partner that you want to prioritize as well within your day. How do you put all of that into a formula that helps you enjoy life? You're not scared to go out to eat at a restaurant because of the food, or it's not healthy, or there's chemicals. No, we don't get to that kind of orthorexic or overly obsessive mentality.
Healthy eating.
That's not a way to live either. So we need to find, through our conversations, through our guests, hopefully ways to help the audience elevate how they want to feel their best through their wellness and through their journey. So we have a lot to get into.
God, we have a lot to get into.
I know.
I'll give you a little bit of a background about
Yes.
what happened. I know that we connected over Instagram. Well, we met from our husbands, and then you came over to my house for a birthday, and then we briefly met each other. And then I ended up posting a story because it was recommended from a friend of mine to say how I started Teal. It didn't come out of nowhere. She's like, please explain your story. And I was like, I think I did, but I don't know who it reached. So I posted this story about how I had these gut imbalances. I was perfectly fine before. I mean, I ate everything. I had preferences like everybody else. And then suddenly along the way, it was 2020, it was COVID, nobody knew what was happening. And we were all recommended to get the vaccine, which, okay, great. Sure.
Yeah,
I want
survival mode.
survival mode. I'm like,
Yeah.
great. Okay. I didn't even think about it. I want to travel. I want to see my family. I want to protect my family
Yes,
too.
yeah.
That's the most important thing. My
Yeah,
parents, my
of
grandparents,
course.
cousins, anybody. And, I had like a newborn niece at that time. So I was like, okay, just inject me. That's fine. So I did. And I traveled, I saw my family. I had a wonderful time without the repercussions of what is this vaccine actually going to do to me? As long as everybody was safe and I was safe, then we're okay.
Yeah.
And so I did, and things just started to break down. Really break down. I mean, I'll talk to you about gastrointestinally breakdown, but also mentally. I think everybody had a mental breakdown.
Yeah. The year of change, honestly.
It was a huge year of change. And I think that was so necessary for me just to get back to myself. I didn't really know what was happening inside me. It was like I was so bloated. When I tell you I'm bloated, when you have chickpeas or you have like just
Oh
the
my God, the
regular.
chickpeas kill me, by the way. I love
Oh,
them though.
great. You get bloated, you get
Yeah,
uncomfortable for maybe 24, 48 hours
for
max. It
sure.
was months of bloating.
Yeah.
So somebody was like, are you pregnant? I'm like, no, I'm not
I
even with
know,
anyone, you
exactly. Like,
know?
don't even
Like,
right
don't,
now. That's
please
the
don't
last
go
thing.
there. Seriously. And I felt like I couldn't function anymore.
Of
Like I literally
course.
had to lie down on my back, couldn't get out of bed. And so I got the booster after that, you know, because I'm helping I didn't realize it was correlated. 4 months later, boom, I'm in the hospital. And I'm like, oh. And so suspiciously things started to pop up, like nobody knew what it was. I flew to Jordan where my parents are. And then I got tested and retested. And through, you know, diet and exercise, specific diet, I followed a FODMAP diet for a long, long time.
I can't hear that word. I've been through it and
Yeah,
I can't.
yeah,
Like,
I
you're
know.
literally nutrient
I
deprived.
know.
We need the new nutritionist episode ASAP on this. It's not good.
100%,
Yeah.
because that, first of all, I was initially given an A4 size paper of what to eat, what to avoid. I was like, I'm sure it's deeper than that because it's not, I mean, you can't just say just eliminate gluten, dairy, onions, garlic, have no mangoes, no bananas. No, I was like, there must be it doesn't make any sense. So I had to do my own research. I had to reach out to homeopaths and other nutritionists,
Yeah.
somebody
You have
for
to
help.
advocate for yourself.
Because
Very
I was like,
hard.
I was literally holding this A4 paper everywhere I went.
Like, this is all I
Honestly,
have.
this is all I have to live with.
Oh
And
my
for how long?
God.
I don't
Exactly. Yeah,
know.
you need to be coached through this.
And I
It's
had
like,
a weighing a scale where I weighed like I couldn't exceed 20 grams of banana. So I would cut that
oh
banana
my
or
God,
like
it's so
30
exhausting.
grams of peanut butter because that would exceed the sugar levels that my body
Oh,
could
couldn't break
digest,
down.
couldn't
Yeah,
break down. Like that was the
it's
maximum.
true.
It worked for some time. But anyways, that wasn't the solution. So I went to see like a homeopath. It took her about 18 months for me to feel fine. She gave me a protocol of supplements, which I followed to the T.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy with it because now I'm okay. But the repercussions of, I don't know if it was the stress. I can't guarantee it's the vaccine. It's not the vaccine. But I think it was just a mix of everything. It was just a mix of uncertainty
Mm-hmm.
and then just injecting things in our body for the purpose of protection, right?
You're doing it with a good conscience. That's the
Complete.
ironic part, you know. And we were just trying to survive. You hear stories. I mean, COVID was the worst time of my life. Like,
I think it was the worst, best time.
mm-hmm.
I know that sounds strange, but I think it was a time for where you really got in the dark, right?
Yes,
You really,
yeah.
really had to get into the dark and really entertain yourself,
Mm-hmm. Be comfortable being
be
alone.
everything comfortable, just being in this very strange apocalyptic world
Yes.
or moment in time. Although it was such a difficult couple of years, I think it was really necessary.
Do
And
you think you grew from that, like as a person, like emotionally, how you look at
oh,
yourself, the world? Like, what did you learn?
everything. I think it just, first of all, it made me, I had to study my body again. And then from that, I was like, oh, okay, this works. This doesn't work. Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
different. No one size fits all.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Different world. We were in
it,
different times.
it's a completely different time. And I think that's where I struggled a lot
Yeah.
with going out to restaurants and
Of
eating. I
course.
still do. But I thought with the bakery that I have, at least I could eat. At
Yes.
least I
And
knew what was going into these
mm-hmm.
breads. I mean, our culture, we eat bread like it's
Of
nobody's business.
course,
I
like
mean,
breakfast, lunch, dinner, if you could, but
this is
it
what we
doesn't work for
eat.
me. Yeah.
You dip it in za'atar, hummus. I
I
love
know.
za'atar.
Same.
And that's just the way it is. So I was like, okay, why don't I just make bread that's clean and edible and good? And I'll
Mm-hmm.
just include some desserts for whoever wants. And that's just how it started. I didn't anticipate, I'm very blessed to have a platform where, my husband's family is very supportive and they've opened that door for
Yeah.
me. But it's hard work.
It's so hard to have
It's
your own
so
business.
hard.
Like, anybody listening, I mean, to have your own business, but have other things in life going on at the same time, especially when you're going through milestones, getting married, maybe being
Mhm.
pregnant, having kids, it's crazy. Like, it's absolute mental, because you know, the minute you don't do that work that day because you're tired or you have kids commitment, which it happens to me all the time, my business will suffer. So it's always that, like, I accepted recently, I'm never going to be 100% in either bucket as long as I'm building my baby business. But of course, kids priority, like they're my babies. But when I'm focused on business in my room or the coffee shop, wherever it is, at the office, I'm trying to be there 100%. When I'm with the kids, phone is far away unless I keep getting rings and all that. I hate that. So I put on silent. But phone's far away. I'm really playing on the floor with eye contact with the kids. I'm present. And I noticed that's a big shift in my personality since having kids. Things really teach you like what you go through in life. I never thought kids would show me the beauty in being present and being childlike and the power of playing. Like when I play their games, I either get nostalgia or I learn something with them. And I'm astounded by how much they know. They're so emotionally intelligent at 3 years old. And they are the walking example of what we as adults lost through socialization, schools, institutions, family, friends. Like we lost just be present. Don't think of what's going to happen in an hour. And that's why, like, I'm so happy where we both are at this point because we're lucky to have businesses like Loris Organics for me is so eye-opening to kind of help people understand when they come to me like, what is organic skincare? I mean, I have this clean brand, and then that's a whole thing of like, is it really clean? Go scan it with the apps, ask your dermatologist, look at the labeling. They realize, wait, no, it's not. And it's greenwashing, which we know is the bottle looks green and beige and clean and minimalist. That looks like it's organic, but it's all marketing. And I know from studying marketing, you can manipulate anybody. It's literally so powerful. So basically, like I love the idea of educating on certified organic products because it goes through rigorous testing and it's legitimate where the sense like you know that it's good for the environment, the brand is good for you. You're putting it on your body every day. You're absorbing X amount into your bloodstream. So all of these things make me really think about like what's best for me, my energy, my longevity, but also for my kids, my family, what can they use? And it got me in a different mindset of like, it's okay to think slower, holistically, healthily. It's not go, 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 the fastest thing I find. Like that was my old life in my 20s. I hustled. I thankfully made it in work. I did well, but I learned from there and I took what I loved from my marketing and applied it now to this business. So every single time that we go through chapters, it really does kind of help us to get where we want to be. And you don't even know when you're done. You just keep learning. I'm sure every day in work, you're learning things that you might apply in your real life, or you look back, you're like, oh, wait, I met this person that got me to this.
There's so many things that we learn in our day to day, but I actually wanted to pick your brains on something.
Oh, pick my brains.
I
like that. Early morning,
want to
picking
pick your
the brain.
brains. So when I found out I was pregnant, it was mid-January. And for some reason, I froze. You know, I was happy, but I was like, in that specific moment, it was like my whole life was flashing before my eyes. Yeah. And the first thing that I did was go to my bathroom. I downloaded an app. I asked ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, ChatGPT, your best friend.
I was like, my best friend. I was like, what do I need to do? This is a first child. Like, I don't know. Like, what do I need to do? So the first thing that I did was I went straight to my bathroom. I also, I ChatGPT'd what's the best pregnancy app to scan products. Mm-hmm. And in my view, I was following 80-20.
Yes.
I had the majority of my skincare was clean, but then I had the retinol. I had other skin firming, tightening things that I knew weren't necessarily the best, but it worked.
Yeah.
You know, it made me feel good. And then I started scanning even the most natural products that I found. And 99.9, I actually have a video of me waving goodbye to my products.
No way. Okay,
my husband was like,
please send this video to me for my marketing.
And I cleared out my bathroom. Cleared.
It's so surprising what you don't know, what you're putting on. And thank God for these apps, but you have to even be careful which apps, because some apps are incentivized by certain brands to say, hey, this is bad rating, but use this instead. Is that app paying for that? Is that brand paying the app to be featured? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I kept like Googling. I kept saying, okay, if ChatGPT says this, What does, if the app says this, what does ChatGPT say? What does Google say? Dr. Google.
Yes.
I mean,
Well, now it's Dr. ChatGPT. Honestly,
Dr.
Google, sorry.
ChatGPT.
It's scary. But that was amazing that you did that. Not many people do because it takes time and it's also kind of intimidating, like everything you're used to. This was symbolic of you physically removing this stuff to make a clear energy space for a new way of life. And that sounds all woo now.
But that got
but
me,
it's true.
it's true, but that also got me thinking, like, whether I'm pregnant or I am pregnant, but I mean,
Yes.
whether I am not pregnant or pregnant, shouldn't it just be the same skincare routine?
I know. Why can't we all optimize our health? Why only when you're growing life? Of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So suddenly we're living this clean life. It shouldn't be that way. It should always be that way.
And it always was that way. As we always say, our grandmas literally in Syria and Lebanon, whatever, like they used to know how to eat. It was pure from the farm. There's like one local grocer guy that comes with it. Like milk was raw and you just boil it to pasteurize it yourself. There was none of these gums and guar gum and fillers, and they like even the pots they used were iron based. There was none of this like tifad chemical based, like, everything they didn't even like think about it to the extent that we are now because it was just part of the day-to routine. And this is why our podcast hopefully will be helpful, right? We think about this all the time. We're demystifying the world of organic. It's not this culty, elite, expensive, only certain people can live it and really own it. No, wellness is for everybody. With the right research and mindfulness, you can live that to your ability. And there is no one size fits all. So that's what's nice is like we want to take this podcast in a really digestible way to not intimidate you with this noise, because we're already all getting noise all the time through TikTok and Instagram. With our expert guests, they will give you the facts. They study this for years. They have the research papers. For us, we have personal experience. So I really believe, like, let's go back to simplicity in this really crazy busy city that we're in. It's not easy. Socially, there's obligations, visitors all the time. I personally get overstimulated very easily. That's like, I'm into astrology, guys. So just like, I'm a Capricorn. I'm a true Capricorn. I really believe, and I'm hardworking, I'm loyal, and I'm very sensitive, and I'm an empath, and it gets to me. I get stimulated. So every day, like, what do I need every day to decompress is alone time. So that's when I reflect. That's when I organize my thoughts, my room. But to make that time for yourself is no joke. It's not real with kids and like life and work and husband.
No, it really isn't.
Like, what's your one way that I think I know the answer, but I want you to say it. How do you kind of have your decompression or your reflection moment?
I am a huge yogi. And I don't want to
knew
use
it.
yogi. I really don't.
It's such a trigger word.
But
No.
I don't want
You're
to
a
use
yoga
that word.
enthusiast.
Yoga enthusiast.
Yes,
Perfect.
yes, okay.
Perfect. I'd love that. Yoga
Yeah.
enthusiast.
Okay,
And
it's
I
the
will
truth.
forever be a student of yoga for
Yes.
sure. And there's more to yoga than just the physical postures. But I wake up before the sun rises on most days. And I have never felt such peace in that 4:30 a.m. It's just everybody's sleeping. Well, sometimes my husband's awake, sometimes not, but mostly
It's like,
not
why?
at
Go back to
4:30.
sleep.
But I just make my coffee. I sit in bed, and I can hear. I know this sounds so strange, but we
Yeah.
never hear ourselves. But I can hear myself breathing, and I can hear myself swallowing the coffee, and then it just gives me that little kickstart to the day, because I'm very much like you. I'm an Aries, and I'm very much an introvert, by the way. But I cover it up with an extrovert.
Yeah.
But I'm very much an introvert. So I love, if I'm going to have a very talkative day, give me at least the first part from like 4 to 7:30.
You need to be on your own.
Just to keep me by myself. My thoughts, my breath, my mind, everything that I do is just me. And I know that's not going to be, I mean, in no time, baby's going to come.
I was going to say, like, I even texted you, remember? I'm like, are you sure you want to wake up at 4:30? You're going to be doing that by force soon. But it's your way. That's your little, like, alone time. Maybe it fuels you. You need that. Like, that's your routine, your ritual,
It does. And I love, I mean, to take it even further, so my husband and I have separate bathrooms,
Oh, lucky
which
you.
is like,
That's
if I can
prime. Yeah,
recommend
exactly. I would
separate.
like to add closets in there too, but that's not possible in Dubai, as you guys
If I
know.
could have
Yeah.
closets and a couch and like a side table with a coffee
Like a
machine and
woman cave.
snacks
Woman
in my
cave.
bathroom,
Yes.
I would.
Make it in your bath. And actually, I understand that. It was during COVID I would do that, and I didn't have kids yet. And I was married, and everyone would make fun of me like, Judy, you're literally the weirdest person. Like, you don't have kids yet. Why are you doing this to yourself? Please sleep in. And I would just wake up because I tell you, like, I think I'm an ambivert. I'm like extroverted, but I'm also introverted where I need to decompress alone after socializing too. But I really feel before everyone wakes up, emails, texts, everyone needs something from you all the time. This really stresses me out more than anything. And unfortunately, that's in business. It is the reality. So I've learned to cope with that. But doing that, I need that alone time. And that's the reason I would wake up at 5. It was dark, it was quiet. I would journal. The journaling game for me is really with kids. Like, I just don't have the time, but I need to make the time because it's so therapeutic for you. Not everyone likes it. Try it out. But for me, I found that you realize during your writing that you almost solve your own riddle in your head. I really believe that because the more you focus on something, the more it kind of manifests or it kind of physicalizes in front of you in ways that, like, over time, through people, through opportunities. Having that positive mindset starting on a slow note is amazing. But I'm going to be honest, I'm not perfect. This is the 80-20 that we talk about. Since kids, I haven't been able to wake up like as much as I wanted.
You know, journaling, I did it for a while. I don't want to say it's not for me, but it kind of isn't for me.
Yeah, fair.
So there are two things that I actually figured out that work for me. A lot of creativity comes while I'm showering. Just everything makes sense. There's no social media, there's nothing.
Yeah, yeah. You're
So you're
just
just
you and your
you in the
thoughts.
shower. And sometimes I'm just standing there and it's hot water and I'm like, ooh, okay, yeah, I can work on this. I can do
Yes.
that.
It's so meditative. The mind body connection, guys, is like what I'm gonna throw in a lot of the episodes. I really believe in it where for me, like I feel like in your circumstance, when you're in a good place, it's warm feeling on your body. Think about to go all the way back to the womb, warm water. You hear
Exactly.
water, there's echoing. The water in the shower, same thing. I feel like you're most at peace in your like own state and no one's bothering you. Everything flows when you're in that kind of creator state where you're at calm and no stress. All the ideas can flow through you. And that's for everything in life, right? So when you find what is that little ritual for yourself daily that takes 5 minutes, that doesn't cost anything, it will help you to thrive in your way. For me, I always felt like the writing would just kind of, I like hearing that sound on the paper. I love also crossing off, like even with my to-do list. I'm one of those old school, like I have an agenda, I have the thing. So there's something like cathartic about that. But everyone has something that I think will, like, that's important to find out for yourself, actually. Maybe they don't, not everyone knows.
It's so important. And like you
Yeah.
said, I mean, wellness is so much larger
So
than
vague.
activity and food and supplements and oh, take this, take that, and lion's mane and mushrooms. It's so much more to that.
It was the way of life, actually.
Have you
The
watched that
norm.
documentary on Netflix about the blue zones?
No, I've been meaning to. It's on my list and I never
It's
do.
so
I've
good.
watched other things instead that aren't very
It's
educational.
so good. And you'd think
Yeah.
like living to
Yes.
100 is like
Dr. Mark Hyman talks about this a lot. I
he
love
does.
it's
He's
where's the island that they live to like XML?
Okinawa in
Yes.
Japan.
Yeah, amazing.
It's amazing. And a lot of it, yes, okay, they walk, but there's no physical strength that's like superhuman. And there's no like dunking your face in ice and
Yes,
ice.
and
There's none of
cryo, the red
that.
lights. Like,
There's,
yeah.
it's just eating good quality food. It's just, even for example, if organic seems to be too expensive, at least cook at home.
So everything in its full raw source. Even milk comes raw, but you can obviously boil it if you want to be safe. But you can do it yourself. Why are we going this, because of time now,
Just
the
it's
way women live
time.
now, Tamara, the way we are expected to be everything. The super mom, you have to be social, you have to look good, you have to work. Like somehow everyone does have a business now, which is amazing. But like, are we putting too much on ourselves as women when we're really, if we go back to primitive times, the woman was meant to stay chill, be on a slower pace, take care of the kids. The man was the hunter that can go for days with no contact. Why are women needing social time, socially more, I don't know, opportunities to connect with people on like an innate basis? I really believe it's because that's how we were built. Our brains are different.
We are
We need to
built
live
differently.
on that.
Women are
Yes.
not men.
Even the
Men are
rhythmic,
not
like
women.
the way 9 to 5 in this freezing cubicle. This is not for
No.
women. We're meant to be warm
This is not
inside
for
and
human.
relax. Let's produce. But we're human beings.
We
And women, we have
are.
cycles. You know, we talk about this all the time. Like every week within that month until your cycle hits again. Every week, let's be honest, we're always PMSing. I
Every
swear,
week.
like, guys, help us. Somebody give us. But I feel like there's 1 week of the whole 4 weeks that we're like living life and looking our best and glowing, like obviously ovulation. But seriously, like this is maybe on purpose because we're not meant to be go, 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 the same rhythm all the time. Men can. They don't have fluctuations. It's science. So why are we trying to be men in that sense? Like, let's own up to what feminine energy is and masculine energy. And of course, there's going to be traits of both. And some women have more of one and vice versa. And I am admiring what some men do, and we can look up to that. But why don't we also work with our bodies, what women are meant to do? Because we will thrive better. We don't force things, it flows with us.
I don't think that we're not built like men, and men are not built like women. First of all, women carry babies. We have the hardest, the most natural.
And most rewarding.
And the most rewarding. Yeah. But the hardest impact on our body is pregnancy and delivery. Like that's the utmost of a human threshold.
But I don't think body also is like soul and mind. Like you're going through a huge shift.
It's a huge shift. Yeah. So women need to, in my humble opinion, sort of slow down just a little bit. Yes. And, really take that time to understand how your specific body works. Every woman's body is different. But going back to our grandparents, no, it was all about, community, and it was all about people coming together to support the woman while the man went to work. And, now it's...
You had all your sisters next to you. No one lived in every corner of the world. They enjoyed life, and women were happy cooking. That was like their kind of reward system. It wasn't looked down at like, oh, that's all she's good for. When did that happen this way? Like just because
Industrial Revolution, I think. It definitely has benefits for sure. And in this day and age, a 2-income household is just the standard. But
it's becoming the necessity.
It's necessary at this point with the way the world is working, which is lovely, and it comes with a whole host of amazing benefits. But at the same time, we really need to find a balance, this 80-20, especially women, that at some point in your life, you are going to have kids, or your body's changing, or you're going through menopause.
Yes. I like to learn how women, they need different outlets than men to feel fulfilled. So we have our business, we try to be creative within that, but we as women, I've noticed through friends even going through this, and they're in the same life stage as me, and we have our hobbies. And I tell people I love to write. And writing is my hobby because, again, like I told you, even from like how it feels to write on a paper every morning or whatever, but writing stories because I like to get out of reality. I like to use my imagination, my empathy, like I get into a different character. And with my writing, I find that as women, we get to like really fulfill that like nurturing self, whether with your kids, of course, in reality, but like on the paper with the characters and their evolution. And everybody, I think women, we don't give ourselves the time or the gift of finding a hobby. Maybe for women, it's cooking. It's beautiful. It's art. But maybe for other women, it's, I don't know, dance. It's something rhythmic. It's something acting. If it's writing for me, whatever it is, something to express yourself outside of that daily robotic, manly routine that we've grown accustomed to living in.
100%. And, if you're going to take it visually.
Yeah.
Because I used to be a Pilates instructor. So I've seen
this. I didn't know the Pilates.
Yeah.
We'll do this. We'll talk later.
Oh, for sure.
Like, yeah.
I took a break though.
Yeah.
But even if you look at it visually, if you look at it in a way where, look at the different sports that are available to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the body structures that, I'll take me, for example. I went through one phase where I was working out twice a day. I was doing HIIT. I was doing Pilates. I was doing weightlifting. I was doing...
Didn't we all?
I was doing so much, and I felt good, but my body exploded.
Yeah.
It did not look like a body that was physically fit. If you were to look at it from an aesthetic point of view, it looked like a body that was so it was really under stress,
Mm-hmm.
and it looked awful. It was like almost like I was reversing what I did. I had started off, I looked
It's
pretty
amazing.
decent,
Yeah.
and I ended up being this balloon of cortisol,
Of
high
course, we're not
stress,
meant to do
water
that.
retention. We're not meant to do that.
I have a serious story about this that we have to talk about because I literally, that's what I kind of like hinted to in the beginning. All of my 20s with that trend of, girls should be vegan, fat free, not much protein. No, that bulks you up. Fat, all of these things. And then I went and did the treadmill in the morning before college. Like, okay. And I also was on my journey of FODMAP and cutting out food groups because I also went through my little stomach thing. So I started to be like, I like how I'm looking. I'm looking cut. I'm looking thin. But then when it gets to a point where you don't look your age, you look older, your face looks tired. And I realized quickly, like, wait, maybe cutting out food groups, it's meant for 3 to 6 months FODMAP, not for a few years. So I really had to switch that later and be like introducing eggs back in, all of the dairy and whatever. Because for me, like, you need the fat. Women need it for hormones. And let the OB, of course, that we bring on, she will be amazing to talk about that. But we need that. We eat differently than men. So this is also, it's like, why do we have all of these kind of, we need to not have these heroes or these benchmarks that are unattainable if we want to really live that like high energy, glowing, beauty, youthful as possible, as long as possible life. Live the way women are meant to live, point blank. And we need to get out of this whole let's follow these celebs, these trends, because they're always changing. Science is always debunking itself. I don't know what to trust anymore.
No, there's no, I mean, what you once trusted is now false, and what you're trusting now might be false in the next couple of years. That's where, things started to really change for me. For example, when I really, the COVID story I was talking about, it really started to help me understand my body. I got the necessary tests done. I spoke to the necessary people. It took years.
I know.
It took years. It took
It's a process.
Minimum of 2 years for me to feel okay. It wasn't a quick fix. It was definitely a life-changing moment.
For sure.
Where I was on these supplements and I was eating a certain way, and I'm sure all the nutritionists we're going to bring on will help clarify this even further. But it's not an overnight fix.
It's not.
It's
It's
really
a lifestyle.
not. It really is a lifestyle. Because I felt like people use and abuse this word. I mean, there isn't one size fits all.
That's
and
true.
There's no formula, and whatever I eat doesn't work for you. Whatever you eat probably doesn't work for me. But what I can say is, if less is more. I think for women, I think for everybody less is more, but specifically women, less is more.
I agree.
Less physically intense exercise really helps shape your body. Less toxic material really helps your body, for both men and women. But I feel like women are more sensitive to external factors and what we ingest, especially with our cycles. And
our thyroid is our queen of all things. And that's the one that gets affected the most by the chemicals you absorb. Your skin is your largest organ. Not many people know that. Facts, look it up. It's crazy to think about. So imagine even the pollution we walk through, the lead that we ingest through driving with the pollution. I recently visited a functional doctor who I'm really excited to hopefully bring her on. And she can talk through all of this, but testing for everything as a holistic look into what is your dashboard. Metals, histamine. Why do you have allergies all of a sudden? Histamine maybe isn't getting digested. Your enzymes might be low. Looking at your gut panel from intensely. It's like a 4-week test, guys. But when you find out the answers, you really learn what are the causes, what are the supplements to heal those over time, not just a quick fix where something can come back and bite me again, So this is it. Everything I think is the moral of the story to close off this episode slowly is that take a breather, take things slowly, look at yourself, be mindful, and just be you, be content in you, and the stress will start to dissipate once you understand yourself. Mind, body, soul.
Mind, body, soul, and be interested in knowing yourself more.
Yes, learn about yourself.
Really, truly learn about yourself. And it's going to take years. It's not going to take 1 day, 1 month, 6 months. It's going to take a few years.
And it evolves again based on what you're going through.
100%.
So I want to do a rapid fire so everyone gets to know us.
Let's do it.
Okay, so what's your go-to comfort food?
It's always been, because I'm gluten-free, dairy-free, because of my situation, non-gluten, full of dairy, cake-sized blueberry muffin.
Ooh.
And then it
I
has
love
like these
blueberry.
sugar crystals at the top
Oh,
where when you
yeah.
bite into them, almost like a crumble
I
at the
know, it's
top of the
crunchy.
muffin.
Yeah, it melts kind
Oh,
of. Does it
don't.
like, you know, like that melting, like sugary vibe?
Yeah. I'm just.
We're so healthy, guys. We promise.
We are
But we
so
love
healthy.
sugar. Yo, I'm just gonna say
What about you?
fries. I mean, that's literally every single podcast or health, like, you know, functional doctor will say, what's the most unhealthy food in the world? Fries. And that's my, like, you know, cheat day, whatever. And my stomach kills me though. Not every time. If I eat it over and over.
Air fry.
Yeah, air fry. It's not as good
I
though.
know.
Come on. Like, but like, you know, because you keep reusing that same oil and it's like refry, like toxic and very bad. But anyway, so that's, and popcorn, like I have to have daily, guys. And then the next question is one thing you're unlearning this year.
What I'm unlearning, I kept talking about less is more. And for some reason, I'm always more is more.
Yes.
Which is completely and utterly incorrect. And now being pregnant, less is truly more. And, you know, with child soon, it's definitely gonna, you know, be forced upon me, which I'm not mad about, but less is more for sure.
Yes.
In everything you do in your day-to-day life.
Yeah, I think that's really important, especially in your phase of life. And you will be forced to do less is more. Physically, you cannot do the things you used to do. It's not a disease. Pregnancy is beautiful. I hate when people like really pity you, like, hey, sit down. Like, you can function, you can thrive, but you can't carry the same things that you used to. You can't run at the same speed. You know, you gotta.
Very humbling experience, let me tell you.
Very because you're strong, you're an athlete, you have like sport in you. I mean, you did the Pilates and yoga, but you find even with pregnancy, you're forced to stop. And for me, I would say perfectionism. I'm gonna unlearn this year. I think as a Capricorn, I don't want to blame it on that, but it's obviously known. I have that in me to always want to be not the best in the room, but like my best. And it used to be in my 20s and teens. I think I needed validation externally. And like now I'm kind of at this few years of my life, I've realized when I make a project, whether for my hobby or for work, if I don't get the pickup I wanted or the applause or the recognition, I'm proud of myself. This is the first time. And when I started doing that lately, I'm getting more positive reinforcement back, whether through, I think, attracting opportunities, meeting people, like things are flowing. I think it's all about your intention, what you do. It's not for other people. Whatever you do, you should be happy and proud for yourself. And that's a big learning.
It won't last long if it's for other people, right?
People can't make you happy. They're going to be in a horrible mood one day. Is your whole day going to be ruined because of them? I used to be like that. Like, you know, it's just I guess maturity. It's just,
it is.
Yeah.
When you stop depending on people.
Yeah, validation. And you need to be proud of yourself and you need to be confident. And the last thing I'll ask is your current favorite wellness ritual.
Wellness ritual.
Current. So it could be in your pregnancy sitch or just in general.
It's a great question. It's not current, but it has been recurring. I'll say is the waking up early.
Okay.
That's for me, that's silence. Even if it's 20, 30 minutes, it doesn't matter. Even if it means that I'm tired, a little bit tired throughout the day, it doesn't matter. I need that half an hour, 20 minutes of complete, utter silence where I can hear myself breathing. I can hear myself swallowing the coffee.
Yes.
I have just a moment to breathe before the day starts. And especially in such a lively city, I think it's so much more important to have that moment of just peace. So my wellness ritual is the first 20 minutes in the morning.
And also maybe what we need to make a point of is, like you said, not overdoing that though. Like when you're telling yourself, I have to wake up early to meditate, to force myself to journal and be that's another stress of its own. What about just sitting and being? That's what you're doing.
Oh, completely.
That's a different story, by the way. There's like, I have my ritual routine and I'm just going to be, if I cry that morning, great. If I don't do anything, great. You know,
I'm just staring at the ceiling.
That's so amazing.
That's all I'm doing.
I'm going to try that tomorrow.
Please do. It's amazing. I can't
because my toddler's like, Mama, I want to go. I'm like her curly head, like at 5:30. I'm like, dude, when can I do my
What is yours with 2 kids? I mean, business. What do you do?
Honestly, I've noticed, like what I was trying to say with you earlier, we were discussing that wellness doesn't have to be this like structured paid class of some sort. It's practicing it anywhere, anytime. So even in the car, like coming here, I practice my mantras, take breaks because I talk fast sometimes. So I hope this pace is good. But generally, like, I really notice the difference in starting to talk to myself. When I have my next wellness ritual within that is when I start getting my thoughts racing because I'm an overthinker. I kind of think to the future and I'm starting to work on that. Is it's a new thing, but I try to name that voice. And Dr. Amen, the famous psychiatrist in California, I love him. He said, name that voice an annoying name like Maggie. And I'm so sorry to any Maggies we know. I have a friend and her daughter's Maggie, but I love your Maggie. But my Maggie tends to talk a lot, tends to overworry, tends to overthink. So I tell Maggie, stop it. You're annoying. This is in my head. And then I go back to like a mantra or something like this is happening for you. This is going to be okay. So whatever I take it back to reality because when you're overthinking, it's oftentimes about the future, which tends to be on anxious terms. Like I'm thinking, oh my God, if I go late to this, will I miss this opportunity? Or my newest wellness ritual is to tell myself what's meant for me will find me today, or if it's in 5 years because I missed that meeting, it's going to come back to me. And that's why you're not going to miss out on anything that's meant for you. So, on this note, what can we expect to see for future episodes? You want to
So
enlighten everyone?
much.
Yeah.
There's going to be nutritional experts. There's going to be psychologists. There's going to be healers. Oh,
OBGYN,
OBGYN.
nutritionists.
Yes.
So what we want to cover is all the trio, the mind, body, soul factors, and then get people, not only doctor degrees, but also the community. So we call them balanced babes or balanced boys, if any boys want to take the risk, but to come on board with us. But we need to hear from multiple voices, people like you and me that have experience, that have been through something, willing to share, to inspire someone going through something similar. This podcast is a tool for our audience. It's not to be talking at them. We're with them. And we're hoping that we can become a community. It's inclusive, it's helpful. And where you can reach us in the meantime to give any suggestions on what you want to hear. Our Instagram, so it's at balanced
Babes.
No, that's not correct.
Balanced babes.
Balanced, not boring.
Oh, balanced, not boring. Pregnancy brain. I apologize.
Okay, I can always claim mom brain, so I'm good, dude.
Sorry.
And you're really bad right now. I'm just kidding. Guys, it's the first episode. We got it. Balance Not Boring podcast, which I think explains itself. We love the name. And we have Balance Babes coming on, which is our community of speakers. And you can find us on TikTok with the same handle. Please DM us. Please reply to our stories. We want to hear from you. We hope you like this podcast. And we can't wait to hear from all of you guys.
It was so nice.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.